Welcome back, folks. I decided to do a wrap up to the series Alien Earth. I did cover the first 3 episodes of this. I was intending to sort of do weekly episodes. The series contained 8 episodes in total, but I decided to not continue with that. But I'm doing this final wrap up video on my overall thoughts to the series. So we're going to get into that today on the video. So welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, my name is Matt, and this channel is all about movies, showing special editions, talking about TV series now and again, all things movies. So yeah, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's free to do so. Got a wealth of playlists on the channel that you can go and have a look at your leisure. And we're going to be talking about Alien Earth in this video. Okay, so like I say, I watched the first 3 episodes to this. I was really quite hyped for this. The marketing around it was fantastic. The look of the Alien series looked great. They really got the aesthetic right, certainly on the ship. Gave you that feeling of the original Alien film. And I was quite intrigued to see these different species that they were talking about. Obviously we were seeing the xenomorph, but the Oculus life form and the plant life form looked interesting. And first 3 episodes I wasn't sold on, and I was hoping for bigger and better things as we move forward. Unfortunately, like I say, I didn't continue to review these individually because I really felt there was nothing really to get excited about. I didn't really like the style of it. Like I said before in previous videos on this, I didn't like the music choice they went with. That took me out of it. And I just felt overall the characters in it didn't really develop. I didn't feel anything. The only one I can think of was Wendy, who's the main girl. I can't even remember the other characters. Morrow, there was Morrow, wasn't there? The guy with this arm, bit like the Terminator arm that could change into different things. He was quite good. Timothy Oliphant's character, again, can't remember his name, but he was quite intriguing. But ultimately, none of these characters really did anything. Each week we got a different episode, and okay, as it went on we saw a bit more of the different creatures. The Oculus I thought was going to be quite intriguing, showing it take over different life forms, but it never really seemed to go anywhere. Each episode came along and I just felt very underwhelmed after every episode aired. Yeah, the look of it was great, fantastic. The money's on the screen, it's like I say with a lot of stuff these days, it's style over substance. I just didn't feel the story really progressed enough, or I didn't really feel much threat in it. I think there was one episode where I kind of felt there was a little bit of a threat, but it always seemed like the alien was never really that scary anymore. We see a lot more of the alien in this. Kind of almost at times it looks like a man in a suit. But this whole thing of, and I'm going to get into a bit of spoilers here, so if you don't want to know what happened, then switch off now. So this thing with the synthetics and Wendy almost controlling through this speech, noises, clicks and this sort of thing. She's almost like controlling the alien, the xenomorphs now, to the point where they're do her bidding kind of thing. And I don't know, it just doesn't seem to work for me. It doesn't fit into the film franchise. I don't see this as canon at all. It's a bit of an offshoot, but then again, I think the guy sort of doing the series, I think he doesn't really know what he wants out of it. Just doesn't feel like it sort of fits into the film franchise. I know he was approached by Robert Rodriguez to sort of do a collaboration. Obviously he did Romulus, and I believe there's going to be a sequel to that. But this Noah Hawley was just not interested. He just wants to do his own thing. Yeah, I'm surprised that sort of Ridley Scott's kind of signed off on this, because I don't know, it just seems to take the xenomorph in a different direction. I know you've got the sort of Yutani thing there, the Wayland. This sort of focuses more on Prodigy. The guy who sort of runs Prodigy, I find him quite an annoying character. The Adrian Edmondson character, I thought he was quite interesting. Obviously it turned out that he is an android as well. But again, sort of the last episode, he gets controlled by her again, by Wendy. And he just sort of, at this end of this sort of series, I guess, it's kind of like, yeah, we're controlling everyone now. These so-called children that have been placed into the adult bodies, I guess a couple of them do feel still like children, but Wendy, she certainly doesn't feel like a child to me. It's just, the actress who's playing her is she's just like an adult. Yeah, very, very underwhelming series to me. I was expecting a lot more from this, and just felt that it didn't really deliver for me as an Alien fan. Obviously they've left it open for a sequel or a season 2, which I'm really not that bothered, to be honest. I don't really think they get a lot more out of it. Obviously at the end there, you get the Oculus has gone into I forget the name of the guy, but he had a chest burster come out of him and he's left on the beach. Yeah, I guess they could pick that up again. Obviously you see Yutani, she's sort of sent in troops, or these the sort of ships come in. Yeah, I just sort of found the whole thing really pointless. Style over substance, and yeah, really, really disappointed, to be honest. I just feel like this had a lot of potential. The marketing behind it was so good. Really felt like, yeah, we're going to get something really sort of akin to the films. I don't know. I mean, I suppose you could say maybe Wendy has maybe that mother sort of relationship with the xenomorphs, possibly. Obviously we got that with Ripley in the originals. That was very much sort of the mother sort of baby relationship, I guess. The two characters very much intertwined with each other, and I guess maybe they were trying to go for that vibe here with her sort of controlling with the clicks and all of this sort of thing. I think that was more of a continuation probably from what we saw in Alien Resurrection. Obviously with the Ripley clone, I think she did those clicks and things, so I think maybe they were sort of basing it off of that, which again, that fourth film never really worked for me. I thought it was a bit of a step too far, but I have to say that even I think that fourth film, with a lot of its faults, is probably still a better than what we've got here with this Alien Earth. I was hoping that Timothy Oliphant's character would be a bit more, bring more to it than he did. He's sort of kind of like, again, sort of controlled by Wendy again. Morrow sort of had a bit of a battle with him and beat him up and that, and yeah, just, I don't know, just lacking in characters, which is so, we seem to have this in films now, that people don't seem to, or actors don't seem to sort of bring characters to life. It's all very sort of generic, and style over substance is how I can best describe it. I don't know whether maybe it's just me, maybe I'm getting to a stage sort of in my life where TV series and films are made very differently to sort of back in the 80s and 90s. That style of filmmaking, or even the 70s, that style of filmmaking, TV series is very different now. I've grown up in a different time, and maybe this sort of type of show is meant for sort of the younger generation. I don't know. Yeah, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts down below. If you are a younger viewer, yeah, what do you think of this show? Does it appeal to you? Have you seen the previous Alien films? If you haven't, you might find that this is, been really good and you've really enjoyed it. Is it a generational thing, or do people of a similar age to me, or in their sort of 30s and 40s, have you found it really good? Are you keen for a second season? All those people a bit older than me, how do you find this? Do you think you've enjoyed the TV show? Yeah, stick down your comments down below. Thanks ever so much for watching the video, guys. Take care and see you next time.